Kevin, how much did the 2 quick fouls in Game 4 kind of affect you for the rest of the night?
It definitely affected me. I've been in that situation before, and just tough to get rolling after that. So I had to find ways to make my impact defensively and just do little things that don't necessarily show up in the stat sheet. So just try to get on the glass. And second half, my shot wasn't falling, but just try to, like I said, be effective.
Hey, how much better is the thumb, and how much has that been affecting you?
Not so much. I mean, I've been able to get up a lot of shots. I think initially it was painful in the few days that followed, but now it's kind of subsided and just getting my feel back in my left thumb.
What can you guys do differently, Kevin, to if you get a lead to maintain it?
I think more than anything, just continue to push our pace. I thought in the second half we were pretty good defensively. They're just a team that spreads you out. They can play inside, outside, and they're a very good team on both sides of the ball. So I think more than anything, what we've been preaching is not getting stagnant on offense. Even in the half court, just not keeping it on one side, but continued motion. Even if we do post Braun up, to continue to have that weak side action and try to get open looks.
So you guys' defense, are you executing the best? Do you feel like?
I would say just trying to slow Oladipo down. I mean, he's had an unbelievable year. An all-NBA type year, and a guy that makes their team go. So just like they always say, cutting the head off the snake. So we've done a pretty good job of that. He's going to continue to be effective. That's just who he is, and continue to keep playing downhill. But we feel like at the initial attack, whether it's been him or Collison or Bogdanovich, we've done a good job.
What kind of a challenge is that for you, Kev, when you guys, especially for bigs, when you blitz like that up top and hard hedge and have to get back and recover?
Yeah, it's not easy. I mean, you have to have you got to be all over the floor, especially in today's game. You got a lot of teams, that move the ball extremely well. A lot of bigs that can shoot it, that space you out, can play inside out. So, they're one of those teams. They have a number of guys that can do different things, as I mentioned. So, it's tough with those coverages, but that's kind of throughout the entire league now.
Have those shots going down, what can you do to help, kind of get them going even when you're not what you're supposed to?
I think more than anything, just look to get guys like Kyle open, Swish open, set good screens, and when the shot's not going, I'm still going to take the shots that are there for me, but just try to not force it, whether I'm getting the foul on the offensive end or not. Just find different ways to be effective even when not scoring the ball.
So far in the series, has it been more of you, do you think, or has that just been that physical?
Oh, no, he's a good defender. I mean, it's definitely been a physical series so far, but Thad has always been a guy that can guard multiple positions, and you got to give him credit. I mean, Nate has him doing a great job on the defensive end, so we need to find ways to be effective.
Kevin, do you see any similarities between this series and the one 3 years ago against Chicago?
I mean, my shoulder was ripped out before that, so I didn't. I mean, I was watching from home, so I wasn't there firsthand. So I don't know if I can answer that question fully.
Kevin, what do you like? What do you feel better about now than maybe a couple games ago in this series?
I just think. I mean, you asked the question the other day. I think just tying this series up, coming back home is something we feel good about. We feel good about playing on our home floor. We know Game 1 was a tough one for us, especially starting and getting behind the 8 ball there. But we feel like it's a best of 3 type deal or type series now. And at the end of the day, if it comes to it, we got 2 games at home. So we like that advantage, and we're going to use that to our advantage tomorrow night.
What's been the toughest part for you in this series? Is it the thumb? Is it the way the Pacers, the looks they give you? What's been the hardest thing for you?
I'd say losing the 2 games.
The approach against Oladipo, and that has at times led to open threes for Bogdanovich and some other guys, and then maybe some second chance opportunities because your defense is scrambling and stuff. What does it take to remind yourself that even when those things may be happening throughout the game, you're still doing what you want to be doing?
Yeah, I mean, in type of games like this, the question was asked, you have to find ways to slow Oladipo down, and that means getting the ball out of his hands, and other guys are going to get shots. So, I mean, you saw Bogdanovich in Game 3, where he went crazy, hit a bunch of shots. He did the same thing in the second half last game, got open looks. So there's going to come a point in time where there's going to be not necessarily missed coverages, but guys are going to be getting the shots late, and guys are going to be open. So you've seen that with Turner up top a couple times. We're going to find different ways to guard that, and just making sure that we're making it tough for all those guys and that they're contested.
Whether you're trailing or on top, what's the best way you can kind of just get over that hump of getting out in the third quarter and coming out?
I think just playing extremely hard. I mean, miss or make. I think there's times where, this has been my 4th year here, we've got stagnant in the third quarter, whether it's been in regular season or the playoffs. So I think just continuing to play really hard is going to, always benefit us, and taking the right shot and making the extra pass to your teammate, just doing all the right things, all the little things.
Was there of that closing lineup being so familiar with each other, with all the changes that you guys have made throughout the course of the year?
Yeah, I think that's always big, but just being out there on the floor, knowing that we had each other's backs, we all know our coverages, and we've always said we stick to our game plan, and we're going to give ourselves a shot. We felt like we did that, but it's tough. I mean, a lot of switching, a lot of moving parts. In more ways than one, but we felt like we did a pretty good job of playing really solid defense down the stretch.
I know they always guard him, but Korver getting hot, does that change the offense?
For sure. I mean, it just opens up so much. I mean, when they're packing the paint, when Bron's playing downhill, and you got guys like Kyle always ready to shoot. I know wasn't falling for him in the first half. He had a couple great looks, but that's just Kyle. Like I said after the game, he just continues to stay ready. He's that type of pro guy that is always going to shoot a shot, and he was huge for us.
The Cavs are ready to do whatever it takes to bring an NBA championship back to the land. Be a part of the playoffs action. Go to Cavs.com/tickets now to get in the game.